Hello and welcome back to the second episode of my Spooder Shooter Devlog series. I've gotten a lot of work done the past few weeks. I'm excited to show you. But before we start, I want to thank my 9 subscribers. You guys keep me going. For those of you that are new here, my name's Ryan and I'm a software engineer. I recently quit my job to work on my dream game, which I'm calling Spooder Shooter. It's a twin stick shooter where the goal is to survive unrelenting waves of spiders with your friends. You can expect a massive arsenal of guns, a wide array of upgrades, and armies of spiders to fight with your friends. So with that out of the way, let's start the devlog. Okay, so let's start off the devlog with some bugs. This one's kind of funny. As you can see, when the spider makes contact with the player, it does a little bit of initial damage, but is no longer able to cause damage subsequently. This bug was caused because I was using Unity's onCollision enter function, and technically the spider is only entering the player's range of collision once, so I had to change this to be onCollision stay function instead. Okay, so in this next bug, you'll see that the gun remembers its previous position, even though you've changed weapons and changed the position of the gun in between. So with that one fixed up, we move on to the next bug. This one was a little bit harder to reproduce. This one was caused by the way I'm implementing accuracy. So the analog stick of my controller returns a value from 0 to 1. And in the case where this bug happens, if you only move slightly forward, the value returned is 0.1. For gun accuracy, I'm subtracting a small decimal value at random from the X and Y of the shoot direction vector. In the case of the shotgun, that value is 0.2. So with the analog stick of my controller returning 0.1, it's possible to get a negative directional vector, making it spray everywhere. The solution was to simply normalize the direction vector that you're shooting in. The next monumental task I worked on was redoing the art for the map. I spent pretty much solely the last 2 weeks doing and redoing and trying different art styles to try to get the map to feel good, I guess. So I finally decided on this final color palette that you see and designed a mock-up that looked something like this. In the end, once I was done the mock-up, I thought that it looked a little too busy. So I tried something entirely different and drew this mock-up instead. The main issue with this map design was that it required a minimum of 13 tiles, which kind of made creating maps on the fly painful. And this didn't include single tiles, like the one shown here, which I would have to add one for each of the directions, north, south, east, and west, bringing the tile count to 17. So then I did another redesign where I really simplified how the tile system would work. Yeah, so this is the map design that I'm going with right now. I'm not entirely happy with how it turned out, but I've spent so much time on this map and all the other maps that I just have to move on at this point and do something different, like guns or upgrades. But yeah, I'm not entirely unhappy with how it looks either. I kind of like the whole random cyberpunky kind of look. And then I just threw in some Unity lights around the outside of the tiles that are turned on and off depending on where they are in the grid in the script. This one's a lot easier because all I have is 3 tiles of different heights and the map randomizes which sprite it uses. And then walls are simply just the absence of a tile. So that just makes it a lot easier. You'll also see from this that I've completely redesigned the heads-up display, and I think it looks much better. This is what the old heads-up display looked like. Notice the blue bar when I dash, and then it recharges, which is a really good indicator, and I really like it how it looks. Additionally, when you get hit, the health bar animates now. Oh, you missed. There are still some bugs with the pathfinding that I have to figure out, but that'll be for another devlog. You'll also notice that when I shoot the gun, the little bar next to my shotgun changes to indicate the ammo. Another bug I have to fix, actually, is that when you shoot, they don't go off the map. They actually collide with the edges, which is something that shouldn't happen right now. And that'll be an easy enough fix, and that'll come in the next devlog as well. And when you reload, you'll notice that 64 goes down to 59, and it's just as you'd expect. Besides that, you'll notice I also added a particle system to the player's trail, so you can see a bit of dust being kicked up, which I think adds a little bit more like motion and animation to the character. Kill that guy. What else has been added? There's recoil on the gun now, so that when I shoot, it kicks back. And I think it just adds a little more oomph to the gun. You may not remember what the damage overlay looked like before, but it was this huge, obnoxious blood splatter that I stole from online. Here it is. And I replaced it with a very simple, just red outline. Like that. Much cleaner. And then the last thing I did was I implemented the player death, which is something that needs to happen too. So, if I get hit enough times... Oh, got confused there. Oh boy. Oh no. Okay, well that's buggy. So I guess I'll address that in the next devlog as well. But this is what the player death animation looks like. I really like how his hair bobs down into his face. Really gives the emphasis of weight. Well, that about wraps up this episode. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next episode where I'll be designing a bunch of new guns.